Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Wednesday, November 1st, 2023. Good morning. I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with last night's NXT, the second part of NXT Halloween Havoc, broadcast live on USA Network from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. In the main event, Ilya Dragunov made the second successful defense of his NXT championship, defeating former champion Carmelo Hayes in 16 minutes and 42 seconds. Dragunov was attacked by Baron Corbin after the match. Dominic Mysterio was also successful in his defense of the NXT North American Championship, defeating Nathan Frazier in 10 minutes and 27 seconds. WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Piper Niven and Chelsea Green also kept their belts, defeating Thea Hale and Jayce Jane. In the finals of the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament, Lola Vice emerged victorious with a win over Kalani Jordan. In other results, Braun Breaker squashed Mr. Stone, and the Creed brothers beat Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo in a tables, ladders, and scares match. In AEW news, MJF officially became the longest reigning AEW World Champion yesterday, reaching 347 days with the title. That total surpasses the previous record of 346 days set by Kenny Omega in 2021. MJF has defended the title 8 times during his reign. The AEW World title was established in August 2019, and there have been 9 championship reigns in total since then. And in ratings news, last Monday night's episode of Raw drew a total audience of 1.39 million viewers to USA Network, down 6% from last week's 1.476 million, according to Sports TV ratings. The rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic was 0.43, down from last week's 0.46. AEW Collision last Saturday night drew a total audience of 472,000 to TNT, according to WrestleNomics. That's down from the previous week's audience of 518,000. The key demo rating was 0.13, down from the previous week's 0.16 rating. The episode, which featured MJF defending the AEW World title against Kenny Omega in the main event, was up against Game 2 of the World Series. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.